Hello there YouTube, and welcome back to War Thunder, and welcome to Sim Sunday / Monday. So firstly, apologies for the lack of content over the past few days. I've just been super busy and haven't had enough time to get on and do any recording. So on to today's gameplay. Now this is obviously post commentary and I'm taking out the Super Hellcat in Sim, and holy shit, flanking Spank really doesn't do this justice. Really doesn't do this justice. But I will say right now, right at the beginning of the gameplay, viewer discretion is advised. There are graphic scenes of spawn camping. Now you might be like, oh no, you can't spawn camping and put it on YouTube, people will hate you. But there is an unwritten rule on War Thunder, or in the actual community, that says if you're driving an M18 or a Super Hellcat, you have the God-given right to do whatever the fuck you like. Because seriously, I've spawned in so many times, whether it's been an RB or Sim, and then just exploded. And what's killed me? Yep, either an M18 or a Super Hellcat. Now, that technically might not be true, but to be quite honest, I don't care. I was just after blood in this gameplay, just after fucking blood. And what you're going to see now is my first kill coming up. Not really much of a difficult kill, but it is the first of many. And what you're going to see is just evil. It is just evil. So here's the first one. We've got a Panther. Now I'm going to range this guy up, just to make sure that I don't miss and give away my position. And if you haven't set up your rangefinder for RB and Sim, I would suggest so. It is a pretty handy tool. Although I've noticed with some, if you don't unlock the actual rangefinder modification, it tends not to go over 1,000 meters, and you basically have to guess over extreme ranges. But it is a worthwhile tool if you can set it up. It's pretty easy. Just bind it to one of your keys on the keyboard, and away you go. So with that first kill done and dusted, I'm now going to flank up slightly more north onto this huge sand dune, whilst obviously keeping a very close eye on the central portion of the map where there's that big mountain, just in case I get sniped from there. But thankfully nothing see me if there was anything over there. And just keeping obviously a close eye on my surroundings, so I'm not inevitably killed by someone that's being a bit sly like I am, trying to get around the map without being seen. And I'm going to drive up here just slightly to the right, just so I can basically peek into their spawn and anyone that is trying to drive up onto around about sort of K7 onto where the bridge is, because there's some really decent sniping points up over there. And we have quite a few planes up for the enemy, quite a few planes up for our own team as well. And here we go, we've got 3 tanks, Panther and 2 AAAs. I'm going to range this guy, and there's the second one. Unfortunately the Panther just disappears. I'll range him up at about 1200, because sometimes you need to be a bit more generous with the rangefinder. Same again with this guy on the reload. 1200, 2 perfect one shots, and there's my 4th victim. This is just so shitty. This is such bad fucking sportsmanship on my part. But he's on fire, he's not going nowhere, so I'll just adjust my aim, reload and kill him for my 4th kill. Oh god, that's such a fucking bad thing to do. And here's number 5. Now obviously this should have been a one-shot kill, but somehow I only managed to detrack him. I should have led him slightly more, I think. Slightly more, but what makes me laugh is the way he stopped. Because he must have seen where the shot came from, and that was a piss poor one. He could have probably reversed himself back to give me a harder target, but he just didn't seem to want to move. And obviously he's paying for it now. Set him on fire, and I'm going to reload and fire again, and I'm going to get him now for my 5th kill. Now this is where shit goes south. I've just been hit And I'm like, fuck, panic, panic, panic. Because I was focused so much on their spawn, I failed to see the panther, the first guy that I killed, coming round the side of the sand dune to get some well-deserved revenge on me. But I'm going to spawn back in, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing as I just did. So as soon as it lets me, I'll be back into the game. Here we go. And I'm going to drive slightly over here to the left, and I am going to obviously try and maneuver myself back into a position where I can just sit over their spawn, over towards their sniping point like I was doing, and just wreak havoc from behind the lines. But before I go anywhere, I've just spotted this guy over here, shooting from the cliffs down at our tanks. So I'm going to take a few shots at this guy first. So I'm going to range him about 1200 as well. And I was slightly high for that one, so we want to get slightly lower. And this one is going to take multiple shots to kill him, because if you can see the angle that he's at, it is not the easiest. Now he is almost flat with his upper glacis, but not flat enough to let me just pen straight through. And that was just a piss take of a shot. That really should have fucking gone through, but I will make up for it. Here we go. Oh, what a lovely shot. That, I couldn't have done better even if I planned it. So there's another kill, that's number 6. And with a little bit of editing magic, we're now slightly ahead in the gameplay and just crossed the river trying to reacquire that enemy Panther G that killed me only a few minutes beforehand. And as luck would have it, there is a friendly tank engaged in combat with him right now, who I am trying to get to, but obviously I didn't know that at the time. So pushing forward as quickly as possible to try and help him out before he gets killed. And I'm going to knock my cruise control off here, just because I was assuming he would be on top of the sand dunes shooting down. However, I was completely wrong. He is in fact sat within inches of the friendly T-34. So I'm going to line up a shot here, and I'm going to balls it, because I only managed to detrack him because it was far too low. But I will make up for it with the reload and get a much better shot on him and finish him off for my 7th kill. So with him dead and out of the picture, I'm going to move back up to my original position, up onto the sand dunes, overlooking their spawn and towards the sniping points on those hills, just to harass them as much as possible from behind their own enemy lines, or behind their own friendly lines, however you want to look at it. We all know what we're talking about here. Now there was someone over here shooting as well, as you can see, and I wasn't entirely sure if that was enemy or friendly, so obviously I'm just going to slightly divert off here to the left hand side, just so I'm not caught by whether it's friendly fire or not. It's just not worth it. This doesn't carry any armor that's worth really fucking mentioning. And oh god, I just can't believe how fucking easy it was just to get so many kills on this. You know, people do moan a lot about the M18s and the Super Hellcats and their ability to do this, but until you actually see this in real sort of gameplay, you just don't really fucking focus on it. It might happen to you once or twice in a game, but Jesus Christ, when you actually see someone do this on the scale that I'm doing it, you just understand why so many people hate these vehicles in War Thunder. It is an utter piss take, but it is a fun piss take, I must admit. But I do get very salty when it happens to me, so. But I'm almost back in position here, and I'm all clear to the left. There's no one driving along that side. I just need to keep my speed up and get into position. There is a whirlwind very close to me, and I want to try and find him as quickly as possible, because he's obviously shooting at our friendly aircraft. But at the moment there's no doing it, because I can't see the fucker, and I'm more worried about the sniping points over there in case someone happens to be looking back and does spot me. However, for the moment I am in a clear. There doesn't seem to be anything on the backs of these cliffs, but just because you can't see someone doesn't mean they're not there. But what I did fail to see when I was looking around with my binoculars was that panther just down there. But with him spotted, I can move into a better position to engage him and put a shell in him to pick up kill number 8. So with him out of the picture, I can now go on the search for that whirlwind, because he can't be too far from where I am now. So I'm a little further along on the sand dune at the highest point, just looking around again, just to be on the cautious side, because I am doing quite well. He is down on my right hand side, you will see him in a second, there he is. And I did know he was here, but I was just looking around just to be on the cautious side, because as I say, you just don't know who's around. So with him unaware of my position and me feeling quite secure in my position, I'm going to prepare to engage him. Now that shot came in and I was like, oh shit, he's spotted me, because now there's artillery coming in. So I thought, quick, I'll just drop some shells into him and then fuck off. And bang, that's when I got hit, and I'm like, okay, I know there's a friendly that's quite close by. It was either a friendly or I completely missed someone on them cliffs. So just use reverse speed to get myself out of there as quickly as possible. And I'm literally confused here. I'm like, shit, it must have been an enemy or it must have been my friendly. But I'm going to push myself back round because he's scrambling to get away now from the plane. And I've only lost one crew member, the auxiliary driver, which really isn't an issue for me. I still have my loader. So I'm going to drive around here slightly and pick him up to my left. There we go. He hasn't seen me at the moment, but he's about to. So I've taken out his loader and his cannon breech, or cannon breeches, because it looked like both of them went in this one. But it's always best to be cautious, because there's many a time I've thought I've taken someone's cannon breech out and I haven't. So I'm going to put a few shells in here and then put a proper shell into him to get kill number 9. So 9 kills on the board, and I'm like, right, where the fuck did that shot come from? Was it a friendly or was it an enemy? And this is the dilemma, because there's nothing around. There is absolutely nothing. I'm going to drive back up onto the sand dune here just to have a look across towards their spawn and towards the desert overlooking B, because I am assuming that shot came from my left hand side. I can't be 100% on that because I was in the gunner view, but that seems the most likeliest explanation for where the shot came from. However, it could have been the friendly to my right hand side that just mistook me for a German tank. But regardless, I am scouring the countryside here, or the desert, looking for this enemy tank, and there is nothing. So I thought, you know what, screw it, the game's basically over. I'm just going to go down and cap, and right there in front of me you'll see a panther's literally just spawned in. And this manoeuvre here, watch this, ping. Fuck knows how I managed to get away with it. That is just a sly little manoeuvre. So I'm going to park here quickly, try and line up a shot. He puts one into me, and then pow, kill number 10. Yeah, 10 kills. Now in my reckoning, that is a double ace. Now it wasn't obviously 10 kills with one tank, but 5 kills with one life, 5 kills with a second life, that is a double ace. And basically that is where the game is going to sort of come to a head. That's the last enemy. So I'm going to roll the cap here, and this is the bit I wanted to keep in for you guys, because there's no more enemies. I don't get any more kills after this. I just rolled the cap and I thought, right, just in case, because knowing my luck, I will sit on the cap and there's only a couple of guys left. One of them's going to spot me, and that's going to be game over for me on my last life, and it would literally spoil my game. So drove up here, being sly, and I thought, right, what I'll do is I'll just maneuver around here, and then what I can do is I can watch over B and make sure that if the enemy is close and they do try to recapture B, I can either put a shot into them from a distance or move in and engage them at close range. However, I didn't realise how close I was to the enemy. I literally drove past him within a few fucking feet. And he didn't see me and I didn't see him. That could have really spoilt my game, but I was incredibly lucky on that one. So then guys, nothing left to do in this game except for capture B and take home the victory. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's gameplay footage, even though there were graphic scenes of spawn campery and skullduggery from my part. I do apologise, not. Sometimes you just need to pull out the epic spank and flank and crush a team decisively, just to let them know who's boss. You know, just to put them in their place. And what better vehicle to use than the M18 Super Hellcat with a 90mm cannon. So then guys, if you are new to the channel and you haven't subscribed already, please feel free to, and don't forget if you do, to hit the notifications bell for updates on future content. Also guys, a thumbs up is appreciated, it does help the channel. And please do comment below if you'd like to see me take out a specific tank or combo in a future video. So then guys, until next time, I will see you soon and have fun.